Howdy, howdy, welcome back to Phoenix Wright Dual Destinies. We are starting on case 4. Let's just do it. Oh, call back to case 1. They weren't kidding. The courtroom bombing incident. A terrible attack launched by the will of a madman. That incident perfectly symbolized the state of the legal world in this dark age of the law. Mr. Wright brought it to a resolution, of sorts. Man, what is that on his chin? That's right. Mr. Detonate was discovered to be the one responsible for the bombing. But, if only it were that simple, somehow I can't help but think when he was working for somebody, that there's a darker influence at work, one that's lurking in the shadows, waiting to pounce upon us. That's why I want to review the trial that was taking place when the bombing occurred. After all, I've got more than a few personal stakes in it. Do you? Alright. Episode 4, The Cosmic Turnabout. Oh, man. Oh, man. Whew! Wow, boy, they weren't kidding when they said cosmic. All the way to space here. Oh, man. Google Maps. Eat your heart out.
1 hour remaining until launch. Please begin your final equipment check.
Checked.
Check complete. Everything's A-okay. We're ready here whenever you are.
What?
Come in at 2. Come in. Do you copy?
Oh, man. Even with those thickly caked spacesuits, you still can't protect yourself from a knife to the chest. December 16th. Something tells me we're not going to have a very good Christmas if this doesn't go well. Time for another trial to begin. But this one's different. I'm sorry to bother you, but... Hey. Are you alright, Apollo? Ack! Was I making the scary face just now? Oh, hi, Juniper. Yes, I'm fine. I'm fine! I was just doing my Chords of Steel exercise. Now I'm all ready to go. Yes, knowing you, I'm sure you'll be just fine. Oh! I brought you a present from my garden. Is this a lotus root? That's right. My grandma says lotus root is good for your eyes. She even says that if you look through the holes, it can help you see into the future. It's for good luck. Maybe later you can cook it and... Thanks for this! I'm gonna have some right now. Oh my! Oh, Lord have mercy. Kinda tough though. Oops, I forgot to move my mic. Hang on a second. Okay, where were we? You can't eat it raw, but thank you for the enthusiastic try. Oops. If she didn't think me weird before, she will now. I gotta calm down. Apollo, sorry I'm late. Crap, I forgot to change the costumes back. Can I do that in between? And presto changeo. Apollo, sorry I'm late. No problem. Hi, Athena. Judy, I didn't know you were coming today. Did you come to cheer Apollo on? Oh, I get it, you sly little devil, you. Athena, stop! Give it away. Quit kidding around, Athena. The trial's about to start any second. Is everything all set? Oh, Apollo, Apollo, when will you ever figure it out? Figure out what? Now who? Oh my god. Wow, that was the longest sigh I've ever heard. Oh, hey. What's up? This is it. It's all over for me. Yeah, how you doing, lead singer of Sugar Ray? I have no idea who to compare you to. They're gonna find me guilty. This is our client, one Mr. Solomon Saul Starbuck. He's a very famous astronaut who happens to be an acquaintance of mine. You wouldn't know it right now, but he's usually a very upbeat and driven person. Scene of the crime, this happened to be the Cosmos Space Center. Back in high school, my best friend and I went there almost a little too much. Huh. Wow, he's cool. But that's where we met Mr. Starbuck. We'd ask about space travel and lattes, and he'd launch into story after story with so much passion. Back in those days, the man was 100% my hero. And just look at him now. Are you sure you're okay with being my lawyer, Apollo? Of course I'm sure. I know you, Mr. Starbuck. I know you're not the type to commit murder. Thanks, but... oh, man. I'm supposed to be in space right about now. And here I am on this stupid planet. With this stupid atmosphere. And all this stupid oxygen. He's so depressed it almost seems like an act. Launch getting called off must have been a huge shock. I'll probably never get the chance to go into space again. Don't say that. Don't stop believing. Don't stop believing. Besides, you gotta go into space again. Yeah. I don't think I could face Clay in the afterlife if I just rotted away in a cell. Clay? Well, was he like Die Hard? No. Clay Terran. I can't believe he was murdered. He was so good at Terraria, you know? I mean, he was such a promising astronaut under your command. Yeah, he was a good guy. Always there to pick me up when I was down. No one loved life as much as him, that's for sure. He was always so full of energy telling me, "You're fine, Mr. Starbuck." I wonder where he got that from. How could something like this happen to a guy like him, huh? Never seen Mr. Starbuck so down. Oh my god, dude. Clay's gone and I'm going to prison. I wish I could burn up like a shooting star right now. Mr. Starbuck, you'll be fine. Like me. Ah, what is it? What's with the yelling? I'll get to the bottom of this today, you'll see. And in exchange, I want you to go back into space for you and Clay. Promise? Does that mean you have lots of evidence to prove my innocence? Oh, no, but we'll figure something out. We didn't get to investigate the area as much as I'd have liked, thanks to the police. So this is another one of those where we're going straight into the trial, then. I mean, that's usually what we do when we're in this room, though. Everybody thinks I did it. Thought I was gonna soar like a comet, but instead I flushed like a toilet. No, don't say that, Mr. Starbuck. You're not flushing like a toilet. Don't count yourself out yet. I know it's hard to lose a teammate, but you gotta keep going. After all, what about you, Apollo? Is she thinking about something? What about me? I was just thinking, wasn't Clay your best friend? We need to focus on the trial right now. Are you all ready to go? Apollo, so that's why they were saying that he got, like, spoke so loud and everything, he got it from me. Oh, and that's why Apollo says he has a personal stake in this, okay. The trial's about to begin, Jews. If the defense would please proceed into the courtroom. Okay, here we go. This is it. This is one trial I can't afford to lose. Let's do it. For Clay's sake and our clients, I will find Clay's killer. Courtroom number 4. Oh, man. Just seeing that number 4 there, you know. Knowing what's about to happen here. Court is now in session for the trial of Solomon Starbuck. Oh, there is something in the air already with this. Oh. Holy shit, dude. The defense is ready, Your Honor, minus one eye. Excuse me, Mr. Justice? Yes, Your Honor. What happened to your eye? Oh, I fell off my bike. Lucky no hurt hands. I'm fine. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Okay. Are you sure? I don't... I'm fine! Oh my god. The defense is ready. Wow. He's really insistent. I'm sorry, Your Honor. He's been like this since yesterday. He keeps insisting it's just a sty. A sty? Like a pigsty? I suppose it's something he doesn't want to discuss. Maybe he's entering a touchy age. He's gonna say it again. Nope. Very well, and the prosecution. It's him! Man, wow. Here's something I noticed about this game. It's like, when you add in the DLC case, that's 6 cases in this game. You take out the first case, which doesn't have the usual prosecutor. That gives us 5 cases, presumably. I don't know if he's going to be the prosecutor in all of them. But I have to assume he will be. You don't usually get 5 cases with the same prosecutor in a game. You don't usually get that much time to get to know them. And I'm already feeling like I know this guy really well. And, like, this would normally be the point where you'd get to, like, the apex of his story or something. The prosecution appears to be ready as well.
Silence!
What's up? Not yet. I'm not quite ready yet. Ugh. Oh, whoa, he's breaking him out right at the first of... Oh my god. Alright, what's going on? The prosecution is now ready. Well, it didn't take him long this time. I'll tell you what, man. What is up with Blackwell? Why is he so pissed off? Now then, I shall give the opening statement.
Silence!
No, let me do it this time. No. I'll do it. Oh, he is gonna do it for... he is gonna do it. You will? What an unexpected surprise. This time I can't leave it to anyone else. I see. Something is off with the two of you today. Yeah, well, we just had a really nasty round of Smash, and he won. Very well, Prosecutor Blackwell, your opening statement if you would. It was just yesterday. The crimes in question occurred at the Cosmos Space Center. Oh, the famous federal research facility of all things related to astrology, right? Astronomy, it's astronomy! Anyway, a rocket was set to launch from there. But at 9:28 AM, before they could even move the rocket to the launch site, it exploded. Wow. That's like one of the most epic explosions I've ever heard. Like, explosion sound effects in a video game? That's right up there. 2 explosive devices were detonated, and the launch was cancelled. My word, 2 bombs? How dreadful, isn't that a shrine in Breath of the Wild? The defendant in today's trial is charged with both the bombing and with murder. One Mr. Solomon Starbuck. For whatever named reason, he detonated a bomb on the rocket he himself would be in. Solomon Starbuck, I recognize that name. Isn't he that famous astronaut? Yeah, right up there with Neil Armstrong, I'd say. Correct your baldness? Mr. Starbuck was the pilot of the HAT-1 rocket 7 years ago. HAT-1. There's something familiar about that, but I don't know. As you may recall, despite some interstellar trouble, his mission was a success. Some say it was a miracle he returned alive. I suppose you could say he's a living legend. Oh, I remember now. He's become something of an international celebrity, right? Oh wow, check this out. Oh, this is so cool. Mankind's hope for the future. I've got to make it back alive. When I was a kid, I was really into space. You know, I don't know what happened there, I guess. Because I still think it's interesting, but I'm not, like... Sometimes I think about it and it almost seems, like, desolate. Like, there's so much out there. They even turned that incident into a movie and everything. Oh, damn. They called it Titanic. Titanic. We've got a real space pioneer in court today. But even heroes tumble from their lofty heights. Returning to the subject at hand. Ah yes, the victim was one Mr. Clay Terran, a subordinate of the defendant. And seasoned Terrarium, hardcore player. Indeed, a loyal disciple brutally stabbed to death by his mentor. Stabbed to death, you say? You mean his death wasn't a result of the bombing? Correct. Despite his lofty dreams, the victim was seen as an interloper by the defendant. And so he was sent not into space, but to the universe in which we mortals cannot see. Wow, very poetic. Clay. I think I've heard enough. This case seems pretty clear-cut at this point. However, there is one thing I'm curious about. That metal box next to the witness stand. Oh no! Oh no! What purpose does it serve exactly? Oh boy, this is... oh man. Since you asked so nicely, it's your coffin. What the fuck? Have mercy on me. I made it funny. It's evidence. Oh my god, you were hilarious sometimes. He just does it with a total straight face, too. Due to its immense size, we've little choice but to lay it where it rests now. We shall get to the contents of the box in due time. Okay, I'm back. Oh, I feel like I just lost 50 years off my life. I just subtracted 20 years from my life. Does he even have 50 years left? Well, I was thinking the same thing, but... oh, inner monologue, indeed. Enough jabbering. Whoop. Hi there, Bobby Fulbright's the name, in justice we trust. Ah, Detective Fulbright. Very well then, please explain the details of this incident to the court if you would. On it! First, take a look at this pamphlet from the Cosmos Space Center. In it, you'll find a diagram outlining the overall layout of the Space Center. Wow. Ah, here we are. For a more detailed look at what's on the left side of this building... oh my god. Take a look at this cross-section that we, the police, have created. See the launch pad in the main building? The launch pad is the square building, and the rounded structure is the main building, right? Oh, wrong voice. You got it! The incidents took place in Launchpad 1 and the main building's lounge. I'll be using this diagram during my testimony. It'll make it easier to understand. Okay, sweet. Alright, tell me all about it, man. His legs are all spread far apart, like James Hetfield. Why am I making the same references over and over again? Oh well, that's part of the course for me, though. Just before the rocket was set to launch, 2 bombs went off. Boom! Boom! One on the second floor of the Space Center's main building, and one in Launchpad 1. Holy crap. Thankfully, only the 2 astronauts were in Launchpad 1 at the time. The 2 of them managed to make it back as far as the boarding lounge. But after the escape, one of the 2 was found stabbed to death. Huh. I'm gonna take it on faith here, we're not gonna have fingerprints involved in this one. A murder on top of a bombing. Detective, the victim was already dead by the time you arrived at the lounge, correct? Yup. Thinking he'd sabotaged the bombing, the defendant attacked and killed the victim. Just look at this tragic photo. Man. Damn it. Oh my, is that a knife in the victim's chest? Nope. It's just a sling blade. Yes, Your Honor, it's the knife that cruelly ended this young man's dreams. We couldn't get any prints off of it, though, because the defendant was in his spacesuit. Obviously. Okay. Well, by the way, Detective Fulbright, why are the victim's helmet and right glove absent in this photograph? We had to remove them to identify him, Your Honor. I personally removed his glove during the investigation. We had to get his fingerprints to confirm his identity, after all. Yes, it would be very difficult to identify him without a face or fingerprints. Now there's just one more thing I'd like to inquire about. What is this round thing next to the victim in this photo? Something so important to the victim, he took it with him as he escaped the launch pad. A capsule that apparently contains asteroid samples. Whoa! While obviously valuable for research purposes, it has no relation to this case. Are we sure? So we know that the bomb in the main building was on the second floor, but where was the bomb that was in Launchpad 1 located? Huh, that one was on the rocket itself! Yeah, that's what it looked like. It was situated around the central part of the rocket. Apparently, the area around the launch pad's elevator was a sea of flames. I would like to submit this diagram and report to the record. Into the record. Alright, we should probably stop and look at what we have here. The explosion sparked a fire on the second floor of the main building and the middle level of the launch pad near the elevator. Here's the knife. Oh, wait, oh. The trials just started, we're already in a bind. Get used to it. Besides, that's what cross-examination is for. What the two astronauts were doing during the bombing, that'll be the key. They were running. Very fast, I might add. Man, these two are messed up down here. Jeez. Alright. Just before the rocket was set to launch, two bombs went off. Boom, boom. Let me just take a look at something here. So the victim's blood was found on his blade, but no fingerprints can be lifted. Cross-section view of the main building of Space Center and Launchpad 1. We saw this already, but I just want to look again. There's a lot going on here. This is shelter, basement 1. Something on the first floor, maybe that's just an elevator. And, of course, autopsy report, cause of death, stabbing. The victim was discovered in the third floor boarding lounge in the main building. Just before the rocket was set to launch, two bombs went off. Boom, boom. How powerful were the explosions? Well, the one in the main building wasn't strong enough to bring the place down. But the room it went off in was burned black. Thankfully, nobody was hurt. Due in large part, of course, to me stepping up to lead the evacuation. Well, how noble of you. Wait, what were you doing in there in the first place, Detective Fulbright? Good question, good point. Huh, I'm Bobby Fulbright, hero of justice. Where wouldn't I be? I'd go to the other side of the world, or even the edge of the universe. I'm not sure he knows how far that actually is. But I guess I'll leave that one alone. Admirable decision, Justice Dono. Oh, what did he decide? I'll tell you later. Anyway, can you describe what it was like at the Space Center at that time? The bomb cut the power to the central bank of the elevators and the third floor lounge. It was pitch black in there, I tell you. However, the security cameras and whatnot were running on emergency backup. And how'd the evacuation go? There were a lot of people. It went very fast. It was like Anime Expo, but worse. If you can believe that. I mean, leave earlier with people down Space Center's basement shelter. Okay, so he took him down to the basement shelter, okay. Yes, there's an emergency shelter beneath the Space Center. An emergency shelter, huh? Oh, here it is. It's at the bottom of the diagram. Yep, saw it. Caught it. Frank saw it. Space Center is pretty impressive to have its own shelter. Well, most buildings do have a shelter. Evacuation report. Yeah, we should probably look at that. So the power outage and evacuation seem unrelated to the murder at this point. Guess I'll leave that aside for now. So there were 2 explosions in total, correct? Yup, that's right. Alright then. So, one on the second floor of the Space Center's main building and one on Launchpad 1.
Hold it!
Let me get this straight. Mr. Starbuck rigged a rocket he was going to board with explosives. Why would anybody do that? What are you talking about? Are you serious right now? If the defendant really did plant the bomb on his own rocket, he'd get caught in the explosion as well. Oh, I hadn't thought of that. Well, jeez. Fine, a simpleton for a simpleton. Fulbright, the motive. If you dare. Understood. The defendant actually had astrophobia. What? Fear of space? No way. Are you serious? That's absurd. Unfortunately for you, we have evidence. Take a look at these. What are they? Is that Vicodin? These anti-anxiety tablets were found among the defendant's possessions. Well, I mean, anyone would have anxiety about that, but... like, even if you'd done it 1,000,000 times, it would still, wouldn't it be... I don't know. There were a multitude... Oh, hang on. There were a multitude of problems with the rocket Mr. Starbuck wrote 7 years ago. Rumor has it, it threatened to crash a number of times as well. That was, of course, very traumatic for Mr. Starbuck.
Objection!
It's the last time he wins. But that doesn't mean he'd go so far as to blow up his own ship.
Silence!
That is true. The defendant couldn't bear to mar his good name now, could he? Not after the media had branded him sole Starbuck Space Pioneer Extraordinaire. Given these conditions, the defendant could hardly run away like some base mutt. What, so that's why you think he resorted to the bombing? Naturally, he constructed this act of sabotage in an attempt to blow up the space center, which would effectively abort the launch, but spare his reputation. Oh. So it wouldn't look like he was scared to do it, it would be get out of it without having to be responsible. Now I'm sure you understand why we have to bring justice down on this atrocious criminal. Jeez. Thankfully, only the 2 astronauts were in Launchpad 1 at the time. Something about that. I'm sure it was only the 2 of them. It was just before the spaceship was set to launch, so of course it was only those 2. Yeah, well, there could have been somebody else inside that rocket.
Silence.
The notion of a third party in Launchpad 1 is utterly absurd. Just to enter the area from the lounge, one must pass through a door guarded by a fingerprint recognition device. And allow me to state up front that there are precious few with the clearance to do so. Oh. Well. Okay, well, what you got? This is the door in the lounge with the fingerprint lock. Only personnel whose fingerprints are registered can pass through. I see. That is very different from what I had in mind. And is there a record of the number of people who passed through that door yesterday? Yes, there were only 3. The defendant, the victim, and... the director of the Space Center, Yuri Cosmos. Ah. Doesn't that mean it's possible that the director is the one who did it? Not so fast. Not a chance. He was in the main building when the bombs exploded at 9:28, doing his job directing the launch. Besides having an alibi, he has no motive for committing these senseless acts. He has a point. Guess the director can't be considered a suspect then. I don't know, man. Defendant, victim, Space Center director had access. Okay. He could have detonated by remote control, right? Maybe? I don't know. The 2 of them managed to make it the 2 of them managed to make it back as far as the boarding lounge.
Hold it!
So while it would appear that the pair barely escaped with their lives, in actuality, one of them had already been murdered inside the rocket. That's the angle the prosecution wants to push, correct? You got it! In fact, that's what I've been trying to say this whole time, damn it! If the victim had been alive, he would have for sure tried to stop the bombing. Is there any chance Mr. Terran could have been killed before he boarded the rocket? They were both alive and well at boarding time and embarked under their own power. Their hearts full of hopes and dreams of space. And then both their hopes and dreams were dashed. Oh, if I may continue my explanation, after the evacuation order was given, the defendant made his escape, carrying the victim to make it look like a rescue. But after the escape, one of the 2 was found stabbed to death.
Hold it!
Sheesh. Gonna get every single one of these. And who's the first to find the victim? Actually, there were 2 of them. There were 2 of them! The Space Center director, Yuri Cosmos, and Detective Candace On. Oh, no.